So I've not really done much on Great British Pound, but it's a really beautiful PA. So I would like to go and just highlight this. So in here, we had this bearish leg. So if I take the high there down to the low down here, and I don't really need to mark up, but you'll see here, we've got the premium up here and we've got the discount down here. So we've rallied back up into a premium, so then we can now look to continue sells. Now, this just emphasizes the strategy, looking at things. So in here, between this low and this candle's high, we've got the fair value gap. It's a bearish fair value gap. So if I make that fair value bear, and what I'd also like to just show on here is how beautiful this is. So the middle line, if you look at the bodies, just respecting on that line, like that's not random. It's not buying and selling pressure. That's the algorithm just working it right in the 50% of that fair value gap. So it rallied up, it came back down, and if we just follow price now, so that's a monthly level in here, and then here's another monthly fair value gap. Now this was just last month's close, so we've got this fair value gap in here, which is also a monthly. Now what's really interesting here is when I go down to a weekly time frame, you'll see that there's actually a fair value gap between this candle's low and this candle's high. So again, I'm going to take this and I'll just pull this across and get this, make that a bit bigger, pull this across. Now, I don't need the middle line on this one, take that off. Now just look at this. So price came in today and just tapped into this area. Now, I'm annoyed with myself because I wasn't watching the charts really. I was having a little look, but not really paying attention. But the good thing is this sort of stuff happens all the time. So we don't beat ourselves up too much. So if I just mark that as a weekly level, now again, looking at a weekly level on, now this is what it is with this strategy. So you layer all these things on top of each other. This is what paints the picture. Okay, this is what gives us the confidence to actually be able to enter trades and to hold no real fear, because we can see the bigger picture now. If you think about it, I've started on a monthly time frame. We're working it down to weekly, and that's just to get to a 15-minute time frame today where we can actually enter and take a trade. So this is the week we came up in here. Look at this last week. That's where we closed, right inside this fair value gap. Today, we've opened, we've rallied up into this other fair value gap weekly, and now we've rejected from that area. So I'm going to look now down at the daily. So that just gives you another better picture again. That daily we closed there, we've rallied up. So if I come into a 4 hour, so for me, what's happened now up in this area, we've got a line here, that's a run of liquidity. So we've had this high, we've ran up, and now we've came down and broke this low. So to me, we're bearish. This is what I was kind of looking for this week in an ideal scenario. So let's go for market structure shift. So we've broke this low on the Great British Pound. But this is the thing, so prices rallied up into here today, and if I go down now on a 1 hour, 60-minute chart, this is the sort of thing I would have been looking for, 100%. So on the 1 hour chart, I marked this high on the 4 hour, so that was a 4 hour high and low. Now here's an hour high in here. This is the hourly high, and this is the hourly low. Okay, so when prices run up into this weekly fair value gap, and then it's reacted like this with another fair value gap in here. Okay, so I'll mark this as liquidity. I'll beef that up a bit to same as this one. It's run this, it's broke. Now this here is an institutional order flow entry drill. Okay, so if I change that to IUFED bear. So once this fair value gap's been created, and this just taps into there, like that's telling me everything that I need to know. When you've layered this on top of each other from the top down, okay, I'll go into a 15-minute chart. So here, this would have been my entry if I did. So in this area, so it came up into this fair value gap. I'm going to actually label that up 1 hour. And IOFED 1 hour. So on the 15-minute chart, once it's tapped into here, and then we've broke this low here again. This is another low that's been broken. Market structure shift. Once I've seen this out of this area, and I've seen this out of the weekly level, this is then the hour, broke the hour. Then we've got the 15-minute that's then broke another low. That's the entry. And the target would be down into this old low, the 4-hour low. So in here, I'm looking at this, and I probably would have entered again. So I would have been looking at key off of this fair value gap here. Bearish. So it could have been something like here and covering the high. That would have been one entry. Covering this, maybe 19 pips. So you'll see where price is now, that's already a 2-hour trade, 2-hour here. So that's probably what I would have aimed for, and then taken a partial. But as prices continue to rally up here, I would have been in at the lower level, so 5-minute chart, and here. So here was another break. So as we've came up here and then we've started to break down again, that's once you see this market structure shift on this level, there's then more impetus to even enter another trade, depending on risk and depending on what you're willing to trade. But I thought I would just do a quick review of this because the PA here has been beautiful. So even from a 4-hour perspective, we've now, as I said, we've now run this, we've broke this with, I'm going to just delete this stuff, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. Right, so here, the 4-hour structure, we've broke, came here, come down, rallied up, ran this liquidity, now we've broke structure, and you'll see here there's already a 4-hour fair value gap forming. How big that'll be will be dependent on, we've got another 36 minutes for that 4-hour candle to close. But for me, this is exactly what I was wanting to see this week, going into next week. And to me, that now opens the doors for more shorts coming this week. And I had this marked up on the euro. Euro's just a little bit different. It's actually come lower now. It's broke the 4-hour structure, but that was lagging. Now I've got this market maker sell model potentially marked up. This is what I was looking for before the week, and I done a video for my outlook for this week, and I mentioned that potentially it could be something like this. So we now could start to see price come down, bit of consolidation, come under these lows here, drop down again, and then we'll get down into this area to then attack these lows as well. But this is just the first step in the main puzzle, and we'll play it level by level, but this is all encouraging. So I just thought I would share that video just to go over that PA and the sort of the layering of the strategy, because it's vital